Welcome in for game two of our doubleheader here this evening from Columbia Station as the Raiders are hosting the Oberlin Phoenix here in the second game, as we're excited to bring it to you under the lights here from Southwest General Stadium. I am Max Drummond, being joined shortly by Paul Williams and running our cam on the evening, Sam Sovacool, as we just wrapped up our first game between Firelands and Clearview. And now we'll get to see each of these teams for the first time, as the Raiders and Phoenix will be on the Lorain County Sports Network for their first time making their debut. But it is week two, so they've each got a week under their belts.
Yeah, it's got to be excited for the Raiders to get out in front of their home crowd on the varsity field under the lights. So I look forward to seeing them play tonight.
Yeah, right now they're having some trouble bringing down a Phoenix player, and it looks like that's going to be Mason Poling on the carry as he gets around the left edge and he takes off, and he's going to cross midfield and get pretty far into the Raider territory.
Yeah,
just the second play of the game.
25-yard run from the young fella. He showed a lot of burst there. Didn't look like he had that much of a hole, but he found it and he made the most out of it.
So that's first down and 10 now, as they'll get going from the 45-yard line of Columbia. And it's a great start here for Oberlin. So now we're going to see them throw out to the left side this time, and we're going to see a different young man take the reception as Colin Wilson gets around the left edge, and that's another nice gain on first down.
Yeah, and this is a promising start for the Phoenix. Only a few plays in, but they have to be feeling good and encouraged about the big chunk plays they've been able to get.
As they will huddle up back around midfield, and the Raiders, a team that we've seen have a lot of success at this level, as we mentioned in our first broadcast, which if you're a Falcon or a Clearview fan, you can go find that here on our channel. We saw a nice start in that game from one team, and now the Phoenix taking off another big play. It's going to be Wilson again, this time just getting a traditional handoff as he rumbles ahead for another chain-moving first down.
And that line is really opening up some holes out there for the Phoenix ball carriers. If this is how they're going to continue to open things up for their runners, I can see this lasting the whole game for Oberlin.
Yeah, so we'll need to see some adjustments from Columbia, as here comes Oberlin to the line. And so far, under center, making things happen here for the Phoenix, it's been Zane Chambers. So he'll hand off once again left side, as we'll see Poling take it, trying to find a lane there. He extends, so we see him reach the ball, trying to get as much as he can out of it, and it's going to add up to a 5-yard pickup.
And these 4, 5, 6-yard pickups that they've been getting help open up those 15, 20-yard bursts that come later on. So just a great attack so far by the Oberlin, or by the Phoenix. I'm really impressed.
And they're being real steady at the moment, as each side, they're going to be tested. They have to pace themselves here, as they may not have as many subs as other teams in this league. So we may be calling a lot of similar names here for both. Second down and around 5 to go here. 5:14 on a running clock here from the Raiders' home stadium. Snap back, and that's going to be bobbled, and just having to fall on it. Right there, it looks like he was able to get back to it as Chambers.
Yeah, that's one thing. If Oberlin can't get some type of points out of this play or out of this drive, it's going to be pretty disappointing with the big chunks that they've been able to pick up and just the momentum that they've already built up.
And now we'll see have a substitution from that Oberlin sideline.
Important early third down here.
Officially, it'll be around 3rd and 7. And it looks like with under 4.5 to go, of them set up. It appears the official maybe. So we saw this in the first game where, and for some of these kids, it may be their first time playing tackle football. So they're just making sure they're set up correctly. A little bit of a motion there, and it's going to go to the motion man back around the left side, but he's going to be stacked up and nowhere to go. for, it looked like Chase Chambers on that one.
And after Columbia's defense looked like it was going to be struggling for a bit, just that quick, they turned it around. Now 3 straight plays where they came up with some big tackles.
And now it leads to this 4th down, and could be a big spot here for Columbia to halt this drive and leave a goose egg up on the board for their offense.
Yeah, that'd feel great for them for sure. Meanwhile, the Phoenix have to be feeling a little pressure to not give up on what was a beautiful drive.
So snap is handled, loading up, throwing deep, and it's going to go over the head of his receiver and picked off. As it would have been a turnover on downs either way, but great job hauling that in by Landon John as he gets the nice turnover there.
Yeah, and while it's always fun for the young fella to get an interception, probably better if he just bats it down there. They maybe save 15, 20 yards, but who's counting?
They lost a few, but it could lead to more yards on the offensive side here as we'll see the Raiders come out for their first drive of the game.
And I'll tell you what, I would have picked that thing too. I guarantee you that.
And it was a nice sliding catch there,
Yeah.
and he brings it in with 3:18 to go in the first quarter here as Oberlin took up quite a bit of time there on their opening drive.
Yeah, and if nothing else, they at least were able to flip the field. So if Columbia is able to score here, they're going to have to earn it.
And they'll have to go almost the entire length of the field as they'll begin at their 15-yard line. And we'll see the handoff going off right side and a nasty stiff arm over there as he gets past the first down marker and a little bit more. My goodness. First down, Raiders.
And that was a physical run. If that's a sign of things to come, that's going to be fun to watch tonight as the Raiders open up with a first down right off the bat.
And, you know, I'm only in my mid-20s, but my eyes may be failing me. I believe that was Dominic Pizzulli on the carry, and if he continues to run like that, we'll find out for certain. But it's a good start to their drive. He'll get it once again. Left side breaks out of one tackler, but there's 2, 3 more Phoenix showing up as they'll bring him down for maybe a loss.
Yeah, and he's not the biggest guy out there, but he runs with serious conviction. And even though he didn't pick up much on that run, it was still another impressive run for, I believe that is number 32, Pizzoli.
So he's got 2 carries on the night so far, and this is a Columbia offense we've seen mix it up each year in the junior LC8, so this time it'll be an end around as they'll get it to another playmaker. As we've seen them run the wishbone, the triple option in years past, and now it looks a little closer to a traditional single back or pro style offense.
Yeah, and I love that. I think it just shows confidence in his kids for them to be willing to throw out different offenses depending on the personnel that they have. I appreciate that from a program like Columbia with these young kids. It's molding them for their older ages.
And clearly, I mean, whatever they're doing out here in Columbia Station, it's working all the way up through high school. They've been one of the best programs in the county, and this time we're going to see them go back to another end-around kind of play, and I think on that one it's going to be Landon Klun as he got the interception earlier, but he's going to be brought down a little short of the first down.
And now a big early moment for Columbia here, 4th and 4, very manageable, and they definitely don't want to give the ball right back to Oberlin and put their defense right back on the field.
Yeah, so they'll it appears they'll roll the dice here. They come up to the line of scrimmage at the 36, 55 seconds to go. And around this time, it's going to go once again to Klun as he's trying to find the perimeter. Cuts it up, hurling, oh man, and he's going to get the first down. Huge play there for the Raiders.
And that was a legit hurdle. Not a hurdle because, hey, this is cool, I've been wanting to try this, but because it was the best thing to do in that moment, and it helped him pick up an extra 6 or 7 yards.
Yeah, keeps his feet, and now sets them up close to midfield. Looks like they stepped out at around the 47-yard line. And we do have an official who's holding a flag. He may have waved it off, though. And it looks like he'll put that back in his pocket, and we'll keep on moving along here with Columbia's first drive of the game.
Big first down for Columbia. Now let's see if they could capitalize on that.
See another handoff this time to who may be the bell cow, Pizzulli. He keeps plunging forward, and the way the pile stacked up. May have thought there was a fumble there. My man to the left of me confirms, and it appears Columbia will jump back on it. So 15 seconds to go. They move into the Phoenix territory rather quickly.
Yeah, and it's looking kind of reminiscent to Oberlin's opening drive. A lot of good, powerful running early on. Let's see if Columbia could keep it going.
And they tried to rush the line, and that's been a common theme. These guys,
Yeah.
they don't care how much time's left on the scoreboard. They want to run another play, but they won't get a chance to here as the first quarter comes to an end from Southwest General Stadium. Tied up at 0 at the moment, but Columbia on the move as we get ready to start the second quarter when we come back here on the Lorain County Sports Network. Back here for the start of the second quarter on YouTube with the Lorain County Sports Network, as each side will flip on the opposite side of the ball. It looked like the officials had to clear that up, but 9 minutes on the clock and still tied up at 0 here as we get the second quarter started momentarily. Columbia coming to the line after a few successful plays to close out that first quarter. We'll see an end around this time. It's going to turn into a pass, loading up, going deep, and there's a couple. Phoenix, doesn't matter, as there may have been a PI on the play. He still comes down with it.
Yeah, the Oberlin players didn't even realize a ball was coming right at them, but somehow the Columbia player was able to come up with it. Let's see what this flag's all about.
And I think Dominic Molina was able to bring that one in, or it may have been Roman. Those 5s and 9s, man,
they're tough.
They blend together.
That ball, I'll tell you what, it was in the air for about 38 minutes, it seemed.
So it will be Roman Sulo on the catch there. Great concentration. The flag was warranted.
Yeah, it definitely was warranted.
So he figures it out and sets them up nicely with another first down in a truck as he barrels forward. Great job on the carry that time by Dominic Pizzulli once again.
This guy is one of the smaller players on the field, but he is dishing out the punishment, and he is turning into one of my favorites to watch already. I love the way this kid runs that football.
As we are under 8 minutes to go here in the second quarter of play. And Columbia will get to work with a second down and 6 now. That time they're going to bring Sulo in motion, and he'll try to help lead block. Once again, they're going to go back to Landon Klun. He goes around the left side, weaves through a couple defenders, crosses the goal line. Ball came out, but I think they're going to say he cleared it. And he's going to put the Raiders on top.
A lot happening on that play. First of all, that cutback was something nasty. A 21-yard beautiful run. And it looked like he almost did get a little premature excitement and dropped the ball right before he crossed the touchdown.
Well, they'll count it, and now they'll set up at the 5-yard line, so they will be going for 2 here after the 21-yard scamper on the end around. Under center, they will go with Chase Anderson getting the snap. He's going to hand it off around the right side, heading towards that pylon, trying to follow blockers. He'll get shoved out, but he's going to fit just inside the pylon there. 2-pointer is good as they go up 8-0. Do the Raiders on the Phoenix here early in the second quarter on the Lorain County Sports Network. We'll be back in a moment. Back here for second down, as you saw that first play of Oberlin's second drive, and did not result in a positive one, as they'll move back a little bit with 7 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Raiders up 8-0.
Yeah, and an important drive for Oberlin here after their first drive stalled out outside of a promising start. The Phoenix don't want to fall too far behind.
And for another handoff, this time it's going to go the way of Colin Wilson, as he's had a couple nice runs. Once he gets the handoff, he's got some nice burst out of the backfield. Sometimes at this level, it's almost two separate steps to get the handoff and then continue running to the hole the play is called for, but it's pretty seamless for Wilson so far.
Yeah, it is, and it's funny because he's bigger than Pizzoli, but he runs differently. He runs with more finesse, while Pizzoli, the smaller body, kind of just goes right after contact. I like both of the dynamics of these two runners so far.
Leads to a fun style to watch, as now they'll come up to a 3rd and 9, and they're going to give in a sweep around the right side, as that's the speed he chased Chambers on it. He's going to have lots of yards there. Down the sideline, he breaks away from everybody at the 20. 15-10, running arm in arm with Wilson. Touchdown, Phoenix.
64-yard rumble, and Wilson showed he's not afraid to get out there and block either. He was almost overblocked. He went too far, but what an impressive run there for the Phoenix.
And he shows off his speed, too. Not to take away from Anderson, but they were running step for step with each other, and that's going to make it 8-6 as the Phoenix. Now they've got an interesting choice on their hands on if they want to go for 1 or 2.
Yeah, either way, though, just like that, they are right back in this ball game, and Columbia has to be a little stunned after that one.
Possibly shell-shocked, as that's the biggest play we've seen today in general across these two games, as the lights come on. So he's under those Saturday night lights, making a big play. They'll set up at the 5 and go for 2 here to try to tie this ball game up with Columbia. Throw out left, Wilson hauls it in, but not going very far, as he'll be brought down immediately by a pair of Raiders. So that'll keep the score 8-6 here with 5:50 to go in the second quarter from Columbia Station here, as Columbia High School is hosting our week 2 of junior LC8 coverage. And I'm not sure what goes into who's hosting and the times they choose, but I am very grateful, and I'm sure many other Ohioans here happy that it didn't conflict with another big game that was on today at noon.
Especially since that game worked out how I think many of us were hoping it would work out. So, yeah, I'm with you there.
Certainly so. And if obviously you may have watched it on TV, but if you ever want to hear Paul Keels and Jim Lachey in the radio broadcast, it's technically that's ahead of the TV broadcast. So you'll be getting those scores and stops sooner if you listen on radio. WOBL 107.7 FM and 1320 AM is the new Lorain County radio home for the Buckeyes this season for football, basketball. So tune in there for some of the games this fall, as Columbia's back on offense now, starting with another handoff. And this time that play is going to be shut down pretty early on. Pickup of 2 to start the drive for Pizzoli on that one.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see if this gives the Oberlin defense a little jolt. I mean, anytime you have a big play like that, it could be contagious for the whole team. So look for the Oberlin defense to come out with some extra pep in their step.
We'll see if that carries into second down here, as the Raiders will we'll see a stop. And I believe we're going to see a timeout from Oberlin, so they wanted to they didn't see something that they liked over there from the Raiders offense. And right now, while they take a break, we will look at some of our sponsors that you are seeing on the bottom right of your screen each time we go live. And it's because of them we're able to go live and broadcast these games for you. And it can also be watched on replay. So big thank you to some of our partners, including Semper Fi Plumbing. Uncommon service is a common virtue with Semper Fi Plumbing. Also, and this is probably close to home for some Columbia fans that may be watching, Jones Bones Barbecue, smoking good barbecue, as they're over on Royalton Road, not too far from Southwest General Stadium here. And you can also call for pickup, 440-748-4343. And I got to recommend you get their loaded fries. And let's just say it's fresh cut fries, pulled pork, and a few other things, and it is perfect. So we're back here now as Columbia gets going on offense once again. Out to the left side, we're going to see Clune going out at the 50 as he moves the chains and excites this crowd.
Yeah, and another run where didn't seem like he might have that much room to gain, but he got squeezed every yard he could get out of that, and it's another Columbia Raiders first down.
As we've seen the Raiders kind of choose their options to attack with, and it's mainly been Pizzoli and Clune getting the share of the workload. Clune bobbles that one a couple times, but he's able to get a hold of it. Cuts upfield, trying to follow blockers. Look at him bouncing this one outside, cutting back up. He's got a chance here. Wilson's the only one able to get hands on him and take him to the ground.
Listen, that was some nasty work by Mace Beck. Wow, what a run. And outside of the yardage he picked up, which was substantial, the moves, the shake and bake, the patience, just a beautiful run by him. And that might have earned him a couple extra carries in this game.
Yes, it threw me off for a moment because we've, like I mentioned before the play, only seen a couple guys, so I apologize. Mace Beck, fantastic run, and that's not something you see every day at this level.
And it gave me hints of old school football, well, not too old school, Le'Veon Bell, ex-Steelers player, that patience to hit the hole when it's the right time. He did that beautifully there.
And so he's the lead blocker that time as they go back to Dominic Pizzuli, who's looking more and more like the feature back of their bell cow, so to speak. So he'll pick up one there, and this is something we monitored in the first game. Time management as we get closer to halftime is we have just 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go and counting here before halftime.
Yeah, and Oberlin using their pretty decent size on the defensive line to bring down the Raiders there, and hopefully they could keep using that size to slow down this Raiders offense.
We saw this once before. It's a halfback pass out to the right side, down the sideline, and Clune's going to go in. Touchdown from 34 yards out.
And what a response. And, I mean, I'm not going to lie. They even faked me out there. Beautifully ran play, beautiful halfback pass. And that one, there was no waiting around. It was on the money right on time.
Yeah, hit him in stride, and he relieves a lot of pressure before halftime here. Does leave 2:51 on the clock, but it's a Columbia defense has looked better, so they won't say no to the scoring in that fashion.
Yeah, I think they'll take that just about every day, all day. It's like we got an injured Oberlin player.
So he will stay down after the score. And with that, before we get this point after try, we'll step aside for a moment. As you can see on your screen there, 14-6 Columbia at the moment. 2:51 to go till halftime on the Lorain County Sports Network. Welcome back to Junior LC8 football coverage here on the Lorain County Sports Network. Once again, Max Drummond joining you for our week 2 here of the Junior LC8 season, joined alongside Paul Williams as well as Sam Sovacool, as we're going to see the Raiders go for 2 here, end around to Clune, and that's an easy dash to the pylon as he puts them ahead 16-6 after he also extended their lead with the touchdown catch.
Yeah, and both 2-point conversions for the Raiders, same exact play, just to opposite sides of the field. And both times it was pretty much a walk-in. So another great offensive drive capped off by a 2-point conversion for the Raiders.
Yeah, it's a good catch there because they've been attacking east to west a good bit, and there hasn't been much Oberlin's been able to do to set the edge on them. So now with 2:51 until halftime, the Phoenix come out with a obviously giving up the score. It may not feel this way, but a lot of positivity after their previous drive on offense that saw a 64-yard touchdown run by Chase Chambers.
Yeah, now that big play was even more important because the Phoenix would be feeling a lot more pressure to make sure they score here if they didn't already get on the board.
It'll bring them out to the 35 as they begin this drive with 2:51 to go. You'll see this handoff around the left side going backwards right now as they try their own east-west formula, but Mason Poling can't get away. And I believe that's Pazzulli on the tackle for loss. 2nd and 11. So the officials set them up left hash, and I mean, each team has a couple timeouts remaining. Oberlin did have to burn one on defense, so we'll see if that possibly bites them here, trying to get a score.
And this could kind of turn into the situation we saw at the end of the first half in our previous game where it's tough as the team with the ball trying to balance not giving their opponent a lot of time if they do turn the ball over, but also making sure they have enough time to complete a long drive.
It's a delicate operation. So now they will set up at their own 34 here with Zane Chambers loading up and throws a strike over the middle through the hands of a Raider. And I guess it's pretty solid throw there, and it prevented Columbia's Mace Beck from hauling it in.
Yeah, he put some zip on that one. And it was in a tight window. He almost got it there, but just a tough pass to bring in with the amount of speed it had on it.
And it was already kind of a passing situation this late in the half, but now it certainly is with 3rd and 11 as they come to the line. Trailing by 10 here in the late portions of the first half is, I would just about call this under the lights. And once again, we're going to see on a handoff to the right side going is Anderson. And he won't get the first down, but picks up enough where maybe they try to roll the dice here and go for it. And it could signify that with the timeout Oberlin just took. So we'll take one with them, and when we come back, we'll see what they have in store for us here on 4th down on the Lorain County Sports Network. We come out of our timeout from the Phoenix here with 1:38 to go. 4th down and 9 as they'll take the risk here, dropping back, looking down the field, and he's going to tuck it, try to run, and he's not going to get away. And they tried to go for it on 4th and long there, but Zane Chambers just couldn't find anybody downfield.
Yeah, and it seemed like he gave up on even attempting to pass the ball a little too soon. He tucked it right away. Didn't really give his receivers a chance to really get open there.
And it leads to the turnover on downs. And now with a minute 37 left and all 3 timeouts, Columbia's offense, which has shown they can strike in an instant, they're set up beautifully.
Yeah, they are, and they could turn this game from a very close to tightly contested game into a pretty comfortable lead for the Raiders going into half.
And if my memory serves me right, I think Columbia will get the ball to start the second half.
Yes.
May have to double check that, but yeah.
Yep.
So this could potentially be a double-digit point swing at the end of this half. As the officials get the football swapped out, so now the Raiders have theirs to work with, and a 10-point lead. They start at the 35 of Oberlin. We're going to see a double handoff this time. Mace Beck around the right side. He's already shown some speed here this evening, and he's going to be tackled down there, but not after a 8-yard pickup.
And again, the patience on his runs, it's just a beautiful thing to watch. He never overdoes it. He never gets sped up, and he's going really at his own time, and it's working for him.
And gives those blockers, I'm sure they're pretty appreciative of it
Yes.
as well. So a minute 8 to go and counting here in the first half. As Columbia, they'll do the same play, but to the left side, even a block laid by the quarterback that time. And they're going to go cut back, but a first down. And that keeps this drive moving.
And it seems like every time Columbia gets to the outside, a cutback is coming, and it's working to perfection each time. And as you had mentioned, back-to-back plays, the same play, just to the different side, works like a charm both times.
And it comes down now to a timeout with 40 seconds left as Columbia has plenty of those to work with. You know what? We'll take one with them, and when we come back, we will see what they have in store for us here on the remainder of this drive here deep in the second quarter on the Lorain County Sports Network. Back here with 40 seconds to go in the second quarter as Columbia used their first time out of the half to stop the clock and preserve more time to extend the 16-6 lead. And it's that halfback pass. If it keeps working, why not keep trying it? That pass hauled in, and they are going to give it to him, and I believe that it is Clune again. So his third separate time catching that play.
I mean, they're really just running like the same 4 or 5 plays to perfection over and over.
It certainly can help the execution with the less thinking you have to do and just playing. And I think that's sometimes an overlooked concept here at this level as these youngsters, a lot of them we talked about before, are just getting started with their game of football. So I don't know, focusing more on the discipline and the technique side and how many plays you run. I think it's a smart strategy.
It definitely is, especially as they're getting comfortable with each other, with the offense early in the season. There's nothing wrong with keeping it simple, especially when you can throw out different varieties of that simple, which really keeps the defense on their toes.
Speaking of that defense, the Phoenix trotting back out after the timeout. They'll try to stand tall here. But Columbia's got it from the 5, first and goal. 27 seconds left here in the first half. And we'll see him under center, handing off up the middle. Let's see what he's got in store for us. Dominic Pizzulli runs in, no issue, almost untouched for the score. And with 21 seconds to go, they make it 22-6 here at Southwest General Stadium.
And I mean, that's just about the perfect 2-minute offense that you could run right there. Columbia executed, I think, each and every play The coach has to be extremely happy with that. And now the Raiders are looking a lot better than they were just 10, 15 minutes ago as far as this lead has grown.
Yeah, it doesn't feel too long ago when it was just 8-6 after the big Oberlin play, but they've really recovered nicely. And now doing this conversion from the 5, they'll try to make it 24-6. Everyone in place. Ball is back, and we're going to see around the right side a stiff arm there. Beck trying to stiff arm another, and he, nice cutback, but there's just too many Phoenix in pursuit, and Mace Beck will come up just a little bit short.
And they tried to run the same 2-point conversion play once again, but kudos to Oberlin's defense. They snuff it out that time and were able to get the stop.
So they get the stop, and maybe can carry something over here late in this half and into the start of the second half, as there's just 21 ticks left on the clock there. And as each team gets ready to swap their sides of the field, we'll take a quick break and be back to bring you the conclusion of the first half here on the Lorain County Sports Network. Returning to the field are both sides, as Oberlin trailing by 16 may try to make a dent here before halftime, or just see if they can get to the half cleanly. As we have for most of this game, seen a lot of similar ball carriers. Now we're going to load up, go deep, and that one almost picked off. As that looked like he could have even called for a fair catch trying to get out of that. Almost looked like a punt with the arc on the pass.
Yeah, I don't think he could have believed how perfect it was. Kind of like you said in the first game, looked like he was the one that ran the route. Just couldn't squeeze it in, but still got the knockdown, and now Oberlin's down to probably 2 or 3 plays for the remainder of the half.
And it's a Oberlin offense that we haven't seen them do too much through the air outside of screens or passes behind the line. Their main successes come from their running game, just giving it to some of their better speedsters and letting them go to work. So they're a bit out of their comfortability here, but we'll see if Zane Chambers at quarterback can deliver. He gets the snap, loads back, has to try to make one man miss. Another spinning away from that. He cuts through a couple more Raiders, but there's just too many of them in pursuit, and he's going to drop there for a loss and possibly end the half. And it looks like that will do it for the first half of play, as he will remain down, but we will head to halftime here at Southwest General Stadium. So right now, Columbia on that home side of the scoreboard leading 22-6 over Oberlin. We'll step aside and we'll be back to bring you the third quarter in our Junior LC8 game of the week here on the Lorain County Sports Network. excited to welcome you back in here on YouTube as halftime has wrapped up. And we can get back to the play on the field between Columbia and Oberlin as the Raiders lead 22-6 here. And they'll start out on offense beginning at their own 35. Snap is back. We'll see a quick handoff. Pazzulli trying to get away from one Phoenix defender. He gets a hand from his blocker, who actively got him off of him. I'm not sure if I've seen that live before. That's a nice play, helping his running back out.
Hey, that was very unique and something I don't think I've seen before either. I kind of liked it, and seems like the aggression of Pazzulli himself is rubbing off on some of his teammates.
Yeah, I don't want to mistake this, but it looked like Austin Pettick might have been the one to help him out there as he's lined up over on the right side of that O-line. So kudos to the right tackle for helping out his halfback. Brings up 2nd and 4 here for Columbia. And we'll get the flag there. Late whistle as the ball is being snapped. Gotta imagine it'll be procedural. So we'll move back 5 yards and essentially restart this drive only with one less down to work with. So just over 8 minutes to go on a moving clock here from Southwest General Stadium here in Columbia Station. And a big thank you to all the high schools hosting these games on Saturdays, helping us bring you these games live and free on YouTube as we're seeing a scramble happen. A nice little swim move from Chase Anderson. He gets all of the penalty yardage back and then some, moving the chains.
Yeah, and the Raiders are just continuing to show off a super balanced offensive attack. Whenever they run the ball, they seem to have success. Even though they don't dial up a ton of passing plays, especially the one in particular has worked most of the time they've went to it as well. So great balanced offense from the Raiders.
So that gives them a 1st and 10 to work with from their own 48. Once again, holding that 22-6 lead, as you see on that sharp scoreboard there. And the execution hasn't been the exact same as we saw in the first half as they pick up another false start there. So that'll move them back 5 yards.
Yeah, not something you want to see as a coach coming out of halftime on the opening drive. 2 penalties in the first 4 plays. That is one thing that the Raiders will have to clean up.
Yeah, it's a short list of things right now, and they'll look to keep it that way. And who knows, maybe playing under these lights for possibly the first time, it can be a little distracting. It takes a little getting used to, but maybe that'll help them out later on when they do hit the high school level. Right now, we're seeing him try to get away as Anderson attempted the stiff arm, but the big fella from the Phoenix would not let go and brings him down for the sack.
Yeah, there was just nothing the quarterback was doing there to get away from him. I looked like that was Zane Chambers on the tackle there. Just great pursuit, and he stayed with it until he made sure the quarterback was down.
So here we go, 2nd and 19. Really behind schedule now, more than we've seen at all tonight for Columbia. Anderson will set up under center now. Turn hand, this is a little more traditional for the Raiders. Trying to get around that left side, but closed off there. And that's going to be the 10 of one. Well, excuse me, I don't think that'll be him. So we do not have a 10 listed on our roster for Oberlin. So just a nice solid wrap up there in the backfield for the Phoenix to force 3rd and long.
Yeah, and Oberlin's defense is looking like a different team out there thus far in this second half. Great halftime speech, I guess, from their coach.
We'll see if they can keep it going here on 3rd down, but Columbia is going to have something to say about it. Around the right side is Mace Beck fighting the head through a few, and he's going to plunge forward all the way to the opposing 39-yard line as he flips the field and gets the 1st down.
That was nothing but effort. Who wanted it more, which side, and clearly the Raiders wanted that 1st down. Impressive run by Beck to continue the drive for Columbia.
It's one around 3rd and 19. I mean, he not only gets 19 back, I think he doubled that output there, or came pretty close to it.
And it's just really got to suck the life out of Oberlin after coming up with a couple big plays to get themselves in a great position.
So now on 1st and 10, you set it downs, and John Harris hasn't had much luck finding some openings when he's gotten the ball. Here to open this second half, as he'll come out of the game now, and returning to the action will be Dominic Pizzuli.
Yeah, and on the defensive end, Aiden Jackson with the tackle there, getting some penetration into the backfield. Great job by the young man.
Brings up 2nd down and 10 to go. Columbia double checking the formation, making sure everybody's in the right spot. And that shows some maturity there from Chase Anderson, the quarterback, as it will likely be important here, trying to get around the right side. Oh my goodness, I wish we had his name, because he is wreaking havoc up there on that defensive line right now.
Wreaking havoc is true, but the way he is wreaking havoc is just as impressive. The young man used one arm to complete that tackle. What an effort by the big guy. And again, Oberlin with some big plays to get themselves in a perfect position. Now, can the Phoenix just finish what they've started and hold Columbia out of a first down? Same play on the last 3rd down.
And unfortunately, the ball comes out. What a hit. And I think that one, we have the number for him, because he has been very dominant on offense too. Colin Wilson laid the boom, and that's going to jar the ball free. Who got it? That's the question.
Is this the same Oberlin defense that we just watched the whole half of?
And it will be Oberlin ball, as the officials are signaling that way. So he did not give up on the play. You talked about there at the start of that play call, looked like it was going to work because it had previously.
Exactly, but this time Oberlin wasn't going to give up on the play, and they determined they were going to be the side that wanted it more. And not only that, but a turnover now with 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Oberlin is right back in this game and back in business.
Sets them up nicely as they'll begin at their own 31. And once again, Colin Wilson showing up on both sides of the ball for Oberlin tonight, as he gets the possession back for the Phoenix.
Yep, now they have to do something with it. You can't get some great defensive stops and then a turnover and not be able to capitalize.
On the other side, how will the Raiders respond? Wilson going to get the first carry on this drive as he heads towards the sideline. Tries a little bit of finesse there, but an impressive tackle. Wrapping him up that time for the Raiders was Roman Sulo.
Yeah, good tackle by him, but I mean, still, the Phoenix were able to get 5 yards on that play, and that's not a bad way to start their drive. Actually, they got closer to 6.5 yards, so sneaky good run there by the Phoenix.
And they'll need a few more of those as we get to the 3-minute mark here in this 3rd quarter, as they work against this 16-point deficit. We're going to see a handoff out left to the motion man, as that was, I believe, Chase Chambers. Seen him have some success, including a 64-yard run, but nothing close to that time, as it's a great stop by the Raiders defense.
Yeah, great pursuit by Columbia, and they did a great job also finishing the play, not letting up, and actually getting a few of the yards they gave up on 1st down back.
So now Columbia will look to get another stop here. And looked like one man ran onto the field, 2 came off, so they may be playing a defender short right now. We'll see if we check that my math is wrong, but back to the play. Wilson, he corrals a wild snap, stiff arms a couple defenders, and he fights his way forward. He's going to pick up that 1st down, as he's putting the offense on his back right here on this drive.
And those are the type of plays that really can change the entire game up. I mean, that went from a big mistake by Oberlin, which would have probably put them at 3rd and 15, 3rd and 20. Instead, they're 1st and 10 in business and just a few yards away from crossing into Columbia's side of the football field.
And with that, 1.5 minutes to go till the end of this 3rd quarter of play, which has seen some solid plays from the defense on each side. He has a few more up their sleeve here, as Oberlin gets the snap back. Calling around the left side, dragged down immediately. So they've seen him scamper a few too many times. And Colin Wilson will maybe lose a yard, or looks like they'll give him one there on forward progress.
Yeah, wasn't able to come up with the same type of magic there, but still, Oberlin's in a great position to make something happen. And it seems like they're pretty content with just sticking to their running game, and it hasn't really failed them that much this half.
So we'll see how long they can do that before time becomes a factor, but still in the third quarter here on the Lorain County Sports Network. We're under the lights this week for probably the only time this season, but we're enjoying it and enjoying that run over to the left side is Mason Poling. He'll get right up to around midfield and makes this third down a lot more easy to go up against.
Yeah, made it a lot more manageable. And now, if Oberlin can, whether it's to begin the fourth quarter, get this first down, extend this drive, get a score, they are really in this game and might be able to put some pressure on the Raiders for the final 8 or 9 minutes of this game.
And that final 9 minutes will come at you next, as that is the end of the third quarter, with Columbia still leading 22-6. However, the Phoenix are on the move here on the Raiders field, so we'll find out if they can keep it going in the fourth quarter when we come back here on the Lorain County Sports Network. Oberlin Phoenix with a huge 3rd down and 2 here at midfield. They'll turn, give to Colin Wilson, and he's going to get the first down and more. Stiff arming through and falls backwards. He was close to that first down mark, but I think they're going to give him the forward progress there.
Yeah, they should, but it did end up a little closer than it needed to be. But either way, Phoenix with another first down, and that was a big one. They're in business now well into Columbia's side of the football field.
As he has been a pretty good source of offense here in the second half, as the one score they were able to put up was executed by Chase Chambers, the speedsters. He found a lane along the sideline and actually scored heading the way they are now. So we'll see if that can be a trend here for Oberlin with just over 8 minutes to go in the quarter. They're going to give it to Chambers here. A little confusion as he bumped into his quarterback in the backfield, but he makes it work. Picks up around 7. I think the ball popped out because he was along that sideline, and the pile ended up closer to the numbers.
Yeah, and that could have been a back-breaking turnover for the Phoenix. Luckily, does look like they retained it, but that's the one thing they can't do right now is turn the ball over.
And right along your own sideline, all the coaches there hold their breath.
Yeah.
But they're able to keep this drive alive now. And this half, they do have all 3 timeouts. So at the end of that first half, they'd only had 2. It kind of may have affected some of their play calling, but right now, full 3 timeouts and over 7 minutes to work with as they try to cut into this 16-point game. Chambers switching sides as he'll stand behind his quarterback there, Zane Chambers, as they'll pass it off to the side. Colin Wilson gets what he can, but nice tackle there, and here comes another 3rd down.
Yeah, 3rd and about 2 or 3 it looks like. And just like the situation that opened the 4th quarter, another big 3rd and short. for Oberlin if they want to have a real chance at getting back into this ball game.
In the last third down, we saw Wilson be the recipient of a handoff right there. They tried to use him in the passing game, but it seems like he's at his best when he's able to go right at the defense and isn't strung out to either side.
I agree.
He'll be the lead blocker this time as they give off to Poling, and he's going to be chased down from behind. What a tackle, and that's going to force fourth down. We talked about him on the offensive side on the O-line. Austin Patek forcing a fourth down.
And those are the game-changing plays that pop up a few times throughout the game. It looked like Oberlin was going to easily convert that. And then all of a sudden, Patek said, no, not on this one. And now Columbia has a chance to really, if not put the game away, at least put themselves in a position to kind of ice the rest of this fourth quarter.
As Oberlin, not even fourth and we'll call it fourth and inches from here, as they've got a few chain links to pick up. And the last time they were in a tough spot like this, we saw them go to Wilson. Let's see what they do here. Just under 6 minutes. He'll get it up the middle. And, I mean, we were speculating, but I don't think there was any doubt who was getting it.
Yeah, and I would have really questioned the motives if he didn't get a nice little handoff up the middle right there. And picked up about 3 or 4, more than enough to extend this drive. But now all this running is sort of coming back to haunt Oberlin, because while they're still moving the ball, that time is about ticking, and they're almost halfway through the fourth quarter.
It's not just running, sprinting off the board there. 4 minutes have gone by very quickly now as they face the 16-point deficit. But this arguably has been their best drive so far on the night, and you may question, well, they have a touchdown on the board. That came in one play. So they may need to try to find another way to make that happen again here from the 32-yard line.
Yeah, and I think they know they're going to have at most one extra possession after this one either way, so they just want to make sure they score.
Poling gets it, gives it back around to Chambers as it fooled some Raider defenders. He's going to get the first down. He's up ahead to the 10, the 5. He's going to go all the way, showing off the speed again as he was responsible for the lone score on the night, and that makes it a second touchdown for Chase Chambers.
And all of a sudden, the Phoenix could cut into that deficit, make it a one-possession game with a two-point conversion here.
How exciting would it be for them to not only out here get a W in the win-loss column, but make it a pair of wins, as last night the Phoenix High School team came out on top.
First time since 2001, and maybe the good vibes are spreading into the weekend, as Oberlin really does have a chance now to win this ball game.
As the losing streak had, I believe, climbed over 30, but they were very resilient. And Kenny Washington, I love the hire that they made there, as he was at a very successful program in Lorraine for a few years, I believe. And he's really taken some of the philosophy and brought it there to the Phoenix. And this is the future of the Oberlin High School program. And right now, a couple guys to keep an eye on here in a few years.
Hey, it's looking like there's some excitement to be had over in Oberlin. And yeah, the losing streak was at 32 games. Their last win coming week 9 of 2021 against Clearview. But now it's all back to the winning ways for Oberlin. And let's see if these young kids can also make that happen this weekend.
Make it a heck of a weekend over there in Oberlin, as they'll go for 2, as it's essential here to try to get back in this ball game. With only, if you can convert here, you only need one more possession of the same result. Snap is back. Chambers, he's looking out right. Believe that's Poling. He's going to try to run under it, but just out of his reach, and can't ask for much better of a throw because of the pressure that was also almost getting home.
Yeah, exactly. And, I mean, it was there. It's just the receiver took a tough angle at it. Never really, I don't even think, got his eyes on the football. Tough break for the Phoenix, but still a defensive stop, and you never know what can happen.
So the Raiders stand tall after giving up their second electric play of the night. And outside of those, they have done a really solid job against Oberlin, but those can sometimes make the difference. And it is very close to here, but now they hold a 10-point lead. 4:33 remaining on the clock here, as Columbia's offense will set up at their own 35 as the sun is fully set. I'm sure you're aware of that. It is a dark background here, and it's also starting to get a bit chilly. Makes me wish I brought the hoodie with me up here tonight, but these kids are certainly handling it. They're all still playing really well right now.
Yep, and we know what Columbia's focus is going to be on this drive. Pick up a few first downs, run the ball, stay in bounds, and keep that clock moving. As I say that, they go out of bounds.
Well, what he did, though, he did 2/3 of the other part. He picked up a nice run there. Good job by Pizzuli fighting ahead as he will get out of bounds right around the 46. And after the chains get set, that clock will go back to moving. And, yep, first down. As we hit the 4-minute mark on a moving fourth quarter clock here from Columbia. And it's I think a good time to remind you of where we'll be for week 3 as we're going to head down to Sullivan for Black River hosting. And right now, looks like Clune is going to make a few guys miss, find the left side. He's going to get the first down, be chased out of bounds by Colin Wilson. But just back-to-back huge plays, and those kind of pickups, those can be the nail in the coffin here at this point in the game.
Yeah, between that missed two-point conversion and these two first runs of the Columbia Raiders drive, really some back-breaking stuff for the Oberlin Phoenix. And every second that ticks off the clock just makes it less and less likely. They're going to be able to pull off the comeback victory, but still, regardless, I think there's a lot of good signs for Oberlin in this game, and I think they'll keep their heads held high.
Yeah, and we'll be seeing the Phoenix again a few more times this season, so we'll get to see that progress right there. Big run along the right side, and that's a stiff arm. We'll see if he can fight all the way to the end zone as he's going to take it from 40 yards out for the Raiders. Mace Beck getting involved and extending this lead with 2:51 to go in the fourth quarter. I mean, shocking us right there.
I counted about 6 times he could have realistically been tackled. And not only was he breaking the tackles, he was literally not letting them happen. He was pushing guys down left and right. What a run from Beck, and just kind of punctuates the game he had all night.
And that was running through defenders. A couple nice blocks there as well. I'm sure there's going to be a few Raider players that go back and watch this just to point out, see, I helped you get there. And then you did all those theatrics, but exactly. I helped set it up. And so, yeah, just Columbia flexing here at the end of this game. And, I mean, they've always been a player in these in the race for the junior LC8 title. They won it in year 1 of our coverage and came up just short, making it to the Final Four last year. But right now they could be well on their way to getting back there.
Yeah, and that's why no matter what, it's a good test and a good outcome for Oberlin early in the season. They fought hard tonight.
Show a little bit more of that fight there as they shut down the point after try, keeping it 28-12 Columbia here on the Lorain County Sports Network. Please remember to like this live stream and subscribe so that way they can always end up in your feed, and you know you don't got to go searching for it each weekend, especially if we're covering your team. And speaking of coverage, next week, as I was going to get into before I was interrupted, but in the best way possible, because who doesn't want to see a great run like that by Mace Beck? But we'll be out at Black River at their high school facility for a 1:30 start, so we'll flip the script. We'll go from a primetime kickoff here to 1:30 next week as Keystone will face Wellington. We saw the Wildcats week 1. We'll see the Dukes for the first time, and then Black River hosting Firelands, who looked very impressive today. So we'll get to see both of them next weekend right here on the Lorain County Sports Network. Colin Wilson is going to get a handoff, and Pettick, I mean, he is really starting to take over this second half for Columbia.
Yeah, he really is. He's had some of the biggest plays of the game defensively for the Raiders, and he's also just been one of their consistent go-to players on the night. Timeout here from Oberlin.
Yeah, we've got the stoppage there, so we'll take a quick one with them, and with just 2:33 to go, we will put a bow on this game here shortly on the Lorain County Sports Network. We'll be right back. Welcome back in to Junior LC8 coverage here on the Lorain County Sports Network as we get close to wrapping up a second of a doubleheader this evening from Columbia Station. Big thank you once again to all of the support here from Columbia's hosting team, and a big tackle there in the backfield. I believe that'll be Logan Bibby delivering the TFL on that second down play.
Yeah, and it looks like the wear and tear is starting to really pile up on Oberlin and their couple of backs tonight. I mean, there's been a lot of carries from Wilson tonight, and while he's done an admirable job all night, you can kind of tell it's starting to wear on him a bit.
And he's played a lot of snaps on defense as well, so they'll try to build on some of the positive signs they can take from this game, and he is definitely one of them. As we get under 2 minutes remaining here in this fourth quarter. This time it's a drop back, some pressure immediately, but the left-hander will throw it, and it's just off the hands of Poling. So we've seen a few times where it seems like these pass plays are just a touch away, just a little bit away from being successful.
Especially that one there. I don't think the quarterback could have made a better throw on that one. It was right into the receiver's fingertips. Just couldn't hold on to it, but it was a well-run play, and the quarterback put it on his receiver.
As they get more opportunities to practice those here in game situations, hopefully see that as we alluded to a little bit ago. We'll see Oberlin. I believe it is week 5 and 6, so for sure, and there may be another one sprinkled in there as well. And then, of course, playoffs will begin week 8. And I'm jumping the gun. I'm thinking way too far. We're only in week 2. We got to enjoy it while we're here.
Yeah, but also we do know how fast that time goes.
As Bullen will get another chance around that left side, but not going to pick up the first. As he will be brought down, and a turnover on downs is forced. And he's a little slow getting up, so we'll get a shot at that scoreboard, and the officials get a little pause and play here. But just to remind you, we obviously highlighted where we will be next Saturday for Junior LC8, but a reminder, especially if you're a fan of some of the high school teams in the area. Oh, and actually they're going to, I believe, call it there. But we'll just give you a quick reminder of where we'll be next week. WOBL, 1320 AM and 107.7 FM is going to actually come right here. Columbia, the Northwestern Huskies will come to town and take on Columbia on radio. So you'll get that one next Friday. Then on WDLW, you can check out Elyria Catholic at Midview, a little rivalry there. And then on our YouTube channel, which you're on right now if you're watching, we've got Highland at Avon Lake, as well as Glenville at Avon. So some colossal matchups next weekend. And like we said, we'll be back on air here next Saturday, only we'll be set up at Black River High School. So big thank you to Columbia once again, as they are great hosts, not only on Friday nights, but here on Saturday nights. And we'll be back here again this season for sure. So big thank you to them. Big thank you to Sam Sovacool running the cam this evening, getting you all the great shots. Thank you, Paul, for all of your great analysis, and excited to keep doing games with you this season, man.
Hey, thank you, partner, and I look forward to next week and beyond.
So that final, as the victory bell is being rung here from Columbia by those Junior Raiders. The final, 28-12, Columbia over Oberlin. I'm Max Drummond. I want to thank you for coming along with us. Like and subscribe to this video and the channel, and we will see you next week. Have a great rest of your weekend.